My father died defending our home, our country, our village. I too wanted to fight, but we are Buddhist. People say we should be peaceful and non-violent. So I forgave my enemy. But sometimes I feel I betrayed my father. No, I never wanted it this way. I didn't want to exhibit our pain and suffering like this. I didn't want to make an exhibition out of our pain and suffering and our lives in this way. But I wanted to understand it. All the time I felt it. Today I want to understand. I want to go into the depths of that pain and the suffering and see what is there in it. I'm a Tibetan refugee born in India in a Tibetan refugee camp to a Tibetan refugee family. Because we were poor, I was kind of adopted by a Tibetan school, refugee school, and got admitted in a school. We used to, besides the Tibetan puja and various other things, we used to learn English. And wanted to understand what is the language. But I knew that this is the language with which I can speak to the world and tell the story of our struggle. You know, there was a children's games song called, we used to sing something like Ingle Ashi Jangsing Pomo, Ingle Ashi Jangsing Pomo, Tibi Tibi Tap Tap, are you sure that you are the morning? Maybe some of you know something close to this, because this is our version, and even today I don't really understand what it actually means. It goes something like that. That's how we learned English, bit by bit, songs. What really touched me was the feeling that we don't belong here. You know, we're not citizens of India. We cannot own anything. And that one day we'll have to go back to our own country, a country we have never seen, a country we have no idea about, a country that had been given to us in the form of songs, games, and stories by our parents, grandparents. And when we were students, we used to be told that there is an R embossed on our forehead. And we were very serious students. We used to think that there is indeed an R embossed here, and we used to scrub it like, I don't want to have this, what is this R? We were very serious about it. But it really meant was that you are a refugee, you're born refugee. You cannot change the drawings on your forehead. You are born refugee. But over the long period of time in growing up, I kind of defined it myself that R needn't necessarily be refugee. For me, R meant Rangzin. The Tibetan word Rangzin means freedom. And I've never felt that I'm a refugee, I'm painful, I'm suffering, I'm like this, and I never felt like a refugee. In fact, sometimes among ourselves, when somebody acted a little painful and suffering, we used to call ourselves, oh, don't act like a refugee. We are not. A kind of a unique strength that I've learned from the elders was that there is always possibility. And you have to find it out. When we were growing up, all these stories about Tibet came to us, and I always wanted to see Tibet. I wanted to see the grassland that spread 4 kilometers together. And that was my boyhood romantic idea of Tibet. There is a grassland, and in the middle of the grassland there is a nomad family, and the mother and the children, they are dancing, the nomad dance. And there's no mountains. I always wanted to go to Tibet. I want to be there. And always, because I was wanted to be a fighter, I thought one day I'll go to Tibet and join the struggle with the Tibetans in there. I wanted to join them, I wanted to fight them, I want to stand with them, I wanted to cut the electricity, create a blackout, cut the water connection. I wanted to join the struggle. There was no point, I didn't see any value in saying, we want free Tibet, we want free Tibet, all this sloganeering. I never felt any value in it. So one day, I took the first step. I went to Tibet. I was 22. 22 is when you are most courageous in your life. You make the most important decision. You are no longer a boy, you are a man. I made that decision. I took my first step. Went to Ladakh, a northernmost part of Ladakh. Because it is from there I can find a way to Tibet. I learned how to get to the border, but then I was on a Mission Impossible. One man. You know just how the Hollywood films say, one man saved the world. I was one man saving Tibet. I was going to the border without telling anybody, not even my parents or brothers or sisters, nobody. I didn't have anybody to discuss this. But it was a mission to go to Tibet, live with the people there, and slowly start a revolution. And then it was early 1997 when I took my first step. Went to the border, clandestinely, without telling anybody. And the Indian border police didn't even know what I was doing. I crossed the border. And I was ecstatic. My dream has come true. I have come to Tibet. I was like a little boy running all around, forgetting that I have now become a man. I was running all around thinking that I have come to Tibet. You know, I've just dropped my sleeping bag and a little bag that I was carrying. I dropped it and ran all around and say, I've come to Tibet. My dreams have come true. Indian police now cannot touch me. I'm now in Tibet. And then it seems as if I came a little late. The people I was to meet at the border, those businessmen, the businessmen had already wound up with their business and they're gone. And I was alone. But I didn't want to go back. I've now come to my dreamland. I've come to Tibet, the country I have always wanted to go. The country I have always seen as a boy. I have to go there. I have to, join the revolution with our brothers and sisters there. I have to fight China. Now, There was nobody to talk to. There was nobody there. I was alone, on my own. And picking up my sleeping bag and this little bag that I was carrying, you know, as a boy, I was only carrying these instant noodle Maggie packets and few toffees. I thought maybe it'll help. And also the little boy adventure I was also carrying a matchbox and a lens to make fire in case the matchbox runs out. I walked on and on and on, and nobody inside. This is not Australia at sea level. This is Himalaya, 4,000 meters above sea level, where common ordinary people can't even breathe properly. I was walking across the Himalayas. First day, and the second day, no food, no water, all alone. Crows laughing at me. Ah, you lost your way in your own homeland. But this was a serious matter. I just got lost. There's nobody. There's no footpath. There was nobody inside. There was no sign of human existence. And then, one day, in the